Part two. We're back. So, we're back. We're back live. So I went ahead and forged ahead, told a few stories. Don't know if that's going to stay, but I just thought I would hop back on, see if you can find me again. Uploaded. Okay, so I think that means the old one was uploaded, so it's good. So that means this is part two. So, and there's people coming back on, finding me again. Well, hi, Doug. Glad to have you back. You guys are so great. This is just like the masterclass yesterday. Everybody stayed on anyway. So, telling stories about how producers are people too. So watch part one. I think they'll both post, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much. But we really just wanted to take a moment to kind of go through some of the things about producers and sort of let you know as a reader what that means for you. Readers really become sort of the groundwork for producers so that they have someone they can lean on, someone they can trust, someone they know they can go to. And that often a producer, and this is kind of where I left off, that a producer will often need to call a writer. So they get a project in. They just physically don't have the time to read it themselves. So they bring a reader in, the reader reads it, but then the producer's the one, or sometimes the development director, that needs to call the writer back and tell them whether or not they're going to do the project. And so they rely on that coverage. So they look at the coverage to get, what are some things I can say to this writer to not, especially if it's a no. If they're passing on the project, they don't want to just pass on the project. They want to make sure to develop a relationship with that writer, because often a writer, they might pass on one project, but then be curious about the next one. So if you can find things as a reader that the producer can then use when they're talking to the writers to say, hey, we're passing on this project. It's not quite, doesn't really fit into whatever, or it's not quite right for what we're looking for right now, or it's too similar to something we're already doing. There's a ton of reasons why a producer might not want to produce a project. But if they can look at your coverage and say, but the way that you handled this story here, or the things that you did there, or, here's some suggestions of the kinds of things that you might do to improve this particular script. And it gives them an idea so that they can develop a relationship with that writer, because then the writer will be inspired to go back and write something new, or maybe fix the project, or who knows what. But hello again. But it puts the producer in a beautiful place if you are able to be that person that provides that coverage for them that they can then go back and take. And so you can end up being kind of a go-to for producers and be really involved in the process of their movie making. And the more that you can work, with a singular producer and get more involved in their productions, then you really start to know their sensibilities, and you can really, really be a support system for that producer. So we talk a lot about being champions for writers, right? Kicking that door in, helping inspire them. But the same holds true with the producer. You want to be that reliable support system where they know that you're going to stick to the script. You are also going to capture that script. So you are going to capture the tone of the writing. You're going to capture what that script's about. Even if you hate it, you're going to do that in your synopsis. You're going to capture it so that then the producer, sometimes producers will even say, look, I know you really didn't care for this movie. However, based on your synopsis, this is something we really want to explore because it fits within whatever, their bigger picture. Sometimes they're producing 4 or 5 or 6 movies, and this one just fits so well within that they're going to take a chance on it, and they're going to work on it even if your comments are bad. So, hi, John from Atlanta. Many film people here. Yes, there are many. Hey, Atlanta's like happening. It is the hub spot. And actually Screencraft, which is a very viable, reputable organization, they're doing their conference there in Atlanta pretty soon, I think. I think it's in the spring. So yeah, definitely. We have Heather, one of our screenwriters. She lives in Atlanta. So I know a John O'Brien. I don't think it's you though. Work for Brookfield Homes. So he's a big-time donor. It's awesome for nonprofits. I work a lot in nonprofits. Anyway, so yeah, it has, and Tyler Perry, it's like so amazing out of Atlanta as well. So definitely a huge hub spot there for sure. Lots of work in Atlanta. Definitely place to be. So yeah, we just wanted to give you kind of an idea of some of the things that producers look for, have on their plate, the kind of ways, they are people too. They are overwhelmed often. And so hear all these horror stories about producers being, like mean or whatever. And it's just that they're overwhelmed. If they find someone that, really kind of can be that support for them, they will just, that's gold to them. And I also I do this pretty often, but I want to preface that with all the Me Too stories out there, I have never once had a Me Too story in Hollywood which is interesting. I've in other places, but never working on films, never working in the development offices. I've made amazing friends with super creative people, men and women, and it's all just been amazing. So wanted to let you know there are terrible bad people, and there are terrible bad people in Hollywood and everywhere. So, and there's really wonderful, cool, creative, smart people too, and there's a lot of those. Can't see your whole message. Yes, masterclass is pretty great. They have a lot of cool stuff in there, so definitely you should check that out for sure. Yeah, Ron Howard. He is a director, and he's an awesome director and an actor too. Started as an actor, as a little one. So definitely you should always be looking at new things. On the Page is a great podcast that I've been listening to lately. She's amazing, and there's a lot of cool materials out there. We're actually going to do a whole one of these on resources so that you guys can know what else is out there. So we're not the only game in town. And also, I always preface that the experience that we share here are just based on the experiences that we've had, and there's so many other ways you can go. There's so many places you can find how to do this, and some people might say that's not how it works, this is not how it works. Well, it's what our experience is. So someone might have a completely different experience, but that's not what we're sharing. We're sharing our experience. So check out the masterclass. We will be back tomorrow at 5 and Thursday at 5 because it's enrollment week. We should create a song. It's enrollment week, and so I'm not supposed to move because then I lose connection. So it's enrollment week, so we're celebrating all week long by being here at 5 p.m. Tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday, and then we have our masterclass at Friday at 5. And we're not the only game in town. What? Awesome! Thanks, John. So, Doug, can you post the links in this one too to the masterclass? We also have the pre-masterclass training, so you can get even more details, so we can see what movie you want to pick. We want to read your homework, see what you're doing in there. And then Sunday, we're not even saying, we're going to have special guest, and it's a wrap party because enrollment to the current screen reader course closes Sunday at midnight. So it is the best game in town. That's my girl. I love it. So awesome. So yes, Sunday will be our big wrap party where we close it off with enrollment closing so we can start fresh with our new students on Monday. So excited to bring in a new group. What's your line that you say, Peggy? That's your cue. Cue Peggy. So yeah, we start with a new group of students on Monday, and it's super fun. We're having a great time. So we'll keep you posted on that, and we will see you here tomorrow. Well, not here, but here tomorrow on Facebook. Not here. Not here. Fresh meat. There it is. She knows. Look, I can cue Peggy. She knows her line. That's so great. So, yay. Okay. Oh, thank you for that, because so many people, I don't know if you watched Trevor Noah, but he was so hilarious talking about they know they should write a speech ahead of time. Why do they not know who they're going to thank? Really funny, right? So awesome. We can't wait to. It's super exciting. We're very excited, and the new group of students have been amazing so far. You guys are raising the bar for us. So tomorrow we're going to talk about your success path, and that's something in the pre-training videos that we talk about. We're going to take it one step further, and then I'm not even going to tell you the topic on Thursday. It's very exciting. And then Friday we have our masterclass. Saturday we have our masterclass. Sunday we have the wrap party. Woo! All right, you guys, thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow at 5. Yippee!